Hey guys, what is up? AwesomeTheSauce here. Hope you guys are having a great day. And welcome to a video where I wanted to talk about this for a long time, but I wanted to wait till I got some of the gear to really talk about it. Today, I want to talk about the cosmetics on the raid gear that from the new raids that just got released. I wanted to talk about how it looks. I feel like this is something that honestly, there's a lot of leaks that came out of this gear, and a lot of people were like, "Yo, like, what are they doing, bro?" Like, a lot of people were just roasting it. I wanted to, take a look at this. Talk about some of the things I liked, and talk about some that I've noticed with Kings Out recently when it comes to their cosmetic items. Now, for one, let's talk about the importance of cosmetic items in Wizard101, right? I feel like when you actually make items that look nice, sometimes people will farm just for the sake of that alone. And honestly, I think that's extremely underestimated, especially when it comes to the Wiz community. I've seen people farm Omen just for the cosmetic stuff, because the Omen gear kind of looks cool. And yeah, something like the Frigid robe with the nullity robe prize, it does give very good stats. But not everyone wants stats like this on their ice. Honestly, this is probably something that you actively want if you PvP, and if you PvE as an ice, you're probably not going to want stats this offensive. I mean, it's going to be a very niche reason for you to even go after this robe. So as good as the stats are, you would think that, they would also make it look good so that, if someone's doing the challenge of a raid and they happen to get a drop this rare, at least it looks good enough so that, they can stitch it, they can make it look good for themselves. And I'll be honest, it's just a little disappointing, y'all. Let's talk about the boots, right? There's some it's a very basic design, honestly, and I think just the wings on it, it really doesn't work. I don't know what they're doing with this. Honestly, it would have been cool if there was like maybe some kind of effect on it. I don't know, like maybe some animation on it. I feel like that would have made it cooler than the wings. I think the wings are just like, considering the actual, wings exist on the robe, I feel like this is just really weird. Let's talk about the robe, right? I actually think it's my favorite part of the gear set. I don't actually think it looks terrible. You can disagree with me. I actually think it looks decent. My favorite part is probably the addition of the spell book right here. I feel like that's kind of lit. And I'll be honest, I think the one real problem that I have is that I think the wings still feel a little too small. I think this is somewhat of a reskin of a previous set of Halloween gear that was already there. And I feel like that's why this makes it look so weird to me. Now the hat. I think this looks terrible. And the reason I say this, it runs into the same issue as the boots with the weird ass wings, but also the hat itself just looks so ugly to me. I don't know why. Maybe this is just all a subjective ass opinion on this subjective ass video. Now let's talk about why I'm making this video, right? I mean, obviously, I just reviewed this, and you can tell most of it I think it's pretty subpar. But honestly, this seems to be a continuing pattern with a lot of the stuff that Kings Out does when it comes to cosmetics. What I think really annoys me about this is I know that they're not talentless at this, because when it's a bundle gear, or if it's something like from a pack, like when you're looking at the newest, Spiral Bones, you look at like the Mouser, Morgan stuff, it looks amazing. I'm wearing this hat to compare, and it's behind a $40 bundle for sure, or maybe a $30 bundle. That's obviously, I can see why they'd want to put more effort into a gear set from there. But the fact that even that it's dyeable, the fact that it's something new and not a retexture, I feel like just that effort, it would be really nice if that was put more into side systems, especially when it comes to end game content. I think this is also another example of gear that could have actually looked really good and could have actually been something that people actually went after and had a reason to PvP for. But honestly, other than the actual deck wand looking things, these are really cool, but the actual cosmetic items otherwise were really I don't think they're anything. I don't think you would log on, do PvP, and actively make this a goal. What is strange is that in the past, when they put out new side activities like Decathlon, like Beast Moon, I feel like they actually were better at this. It seems to be more of a recent thing where they're, where basically they're just not as good at this. I mean, look at this Beast Moon robe, y'all. I mean, there is not one school that gets a Beast Moon robe that's not good. When I first started doing Beast Moon and Decathlon, it was because of really cool Hands of Fate looking weapons and robes that looked like this. This was really amazing. But now that raids are out, we see something that honestly, is decent at best. I don't know how else to really say it. Honestly, what I would really like to see more of from side activities or end game things when it comes to cosmetic items is like, you know, an actual animation that's put on it. I want to see gear that's like this, you know, this like fire sword. This is like a stone key or wooden key boss in Sonic City. You can just farm this. Like, this is something that they just have in the game. It looks really cool, not behind a pack, and they really did it right. I think another example is their Halloween stuff where they added like this really cool skull that just has like a crazy ass animation on it. It's definitely possible for them to do stuff like this. I want to see something a little bit more dynamic than something that looks almost like it's just reskinned and maybe they just slapped a book on it and called it a day. Like, that's what the robe looks like to me. I think stuff like this alone automatically makes the gear unique because we have so few items in the game right now. I think it's just I think they're called the Daniel wands. Those are the stone wands, and then there's the decathlon wands, and then a few pieces of pack gear. That's about it when it comes to animated gear. I would really like to see stuff like that, and honestly what I would like to see more than anything is something unique for each school, right? Maybe something that has like fire symbols coming out of it or ice symbols coming out of it. I think that kind of stuff would make actually farming for gear, especially when it comes to raid gear, right? We're talking about really a hard dungeon. If you don't PvP, you might not really have an incentive if the gear doesn't look good. I want a reason to do that even if I'm not PvP. I think the pets are also another kind of an L, and honestly, I have really nothing to say on this. I hope that they update this. Like, yeah, the design is cool, but the fact that it's a basic ass dragon, I don't know. I feel like, again, this would have been really cool if it like glowed in some way, or if it, I don't know, if it seemed like not a reskin, right? I think that's the problem with a lot of this gear, and I think, honestly, if you're grinding and getting probably like this lively null dragon, probably one of the rarest pets in the game right now, I worked hard for this. Why doesn't it look better? I think that's a question that we all deserve an answer to. Maybe the reason that we don't have gear like that from an activity like raids is simply because of the fact that you don't have to pay as much for it. But I do think that that reflects very poorly on the company, and I think they should invest more in the community's opinion on that one. Like, I don't think it's a good or a healthy thing for the community to think, oh, it's buying a pack or bundle, oh, it's just gonna look better now. I feel like, yeah, you can pay money to look cool, I guess. I think that's always fine. I don't think anyone cares if you look good because you paid crowns, but it would be really nice to explore the idea of looking good because you worked hard in this game. And I think that's a total other angle that I think we just need to let. There's so much unexplored potential there. What do you guys think they should do in future endgame content, or even like, you know, when they add more side activities like Peaceman and Decathlon? What do you guys think they should do in terms of cosmetics? I think there's all kinds of ideas that people have had that they've never really explored, and I think we should really weigh in on this because I do really think if you work hard, you should have a cosmetic reason to do all that. All in all, I am a really big fan of the raids. I think it's just very challenging. I've actually met a lot of people through it. I've been doing some late night grinding here and there. I've been doing some on-stream grinding. I've been making a guild. I'm having a lot of fun with it. There'll be a lot of videos on it coming around. There'll be a lot of PvP videos with all the gear that I'm using. It's gonna be lit, so you don't want to miss it. Turn on noties, drop a sub, and as always, if somebody has not told you you're awesome today, they doing something wrong. I'll see y'all soon. I look forward to reading your comments. Stay awesome, and yeah.